Greetings. Welcome back to the Medical Weight Loss Show. I'm your host, Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner, DNP, IFBB Pro, and owner of Serenity Health Innovations and Wellness located in Central Florida. Today, I want to talk about something that I've talked about before, but it is so important. And it's about taking the GLP-1s. It doesn't matter if you're taking the brand or the compounded version, but I want to talk about when you take these medications and then you stop taking them and you put weight on, and what happens when you gain that weight. This is so important. And specifically, why weight regain often happens quickly and why much of it tends to return as fat mass rather than lean mass. This is what we call the yo yo effect. So grab a cup of tea, a glass of water, sit back, relax, or hop on the treadmill and let's get started. So, as we all know, people taking GLP-1 medications can lose significant weight, and that's great. However, after stopping, many regain a substantial portion within months to 1 to 2 years. It just depends. The regain is often faster than traditional diet based weight cycling. Some studies referenced in major medical journalism show a pattern of metabolic rebound, not just willpower failure. I hear it all the time. I just want to start these GLP-1 medications just to get a jump start. But then I'm going to stop. I have willpower. I can do this on my own. Honestly, it's not just about willpower. And that's why the weight regain occurs. And again, unfortunately, many times it's fat that you gain. And of course, you lose a lot of muscle. And this is the key point. This is not just behavior, it's biological. So, why does the weight come back so fast? When GLP-1 medications are active, they slow gastric emptying, they reduce appetite signaling in the brain, they lower food reward response, and they improve insulin sensitivity. I think we all agree on that. However, a lot of people don't realize that this is why the medications work so well. And this is why when you stop them, you gain the weight and you gain fat. So when you stop them, the hunger hormones rebound. This is why ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, increases again. Satiety signals decrease. So appetite doesn't just return, it often comes back stronger than baseline. And then metabolic adaptation persists. During weight loss, the body adapts. Resting metabolic rate drops, energy efficiency increases, the body becomes fuel conservative. So when intake rises again, the body is primed to regain weight efficiency. And then the body defends a higher fat set point. The brain doesn't recognize intentional weight loss. It recognizes we are below our defended weight. This is why many patients feel like they are fighting their own biology. And then I hear this a lot. Patients will say, well, the medication isn't working, so I'm going to stop taking it. And I highly discourage this because what's happening is the medication is keeping you from gaining weight. So maybe for the first week, 2 weeks, even months, you keep the weight off. But then guess what? The weight will gradually start to come back. And then, of course, by the time you decide you want to get back on the medicine, by then it's a little bit harder for you to start losing the weight. And it's just a vicious cycle. I've been doing this for many, many years. I've seen it, and I try to tell patients this is not the right way to go. But let's keep going. So, I want to talk more in depth about the fat that returns when that weight starts to come on. One of the most important clinical concerns being discussed is body composition changes. During GLP-1 weight loss, there is a significant portion of weight loss that can include lean muscle mass. Without resistance training and adequate protein, this loss can be even higher. During weight regain, fat is preferentially restored. Unfortunately, that is not what we want to hear. Muscle does not return at the same rate. So the cycle becomes lose weight, lose fat, regain mostly fat. This is what creates the softer body composition patients often describe after cycles of weight loss and regain. So, why yo yoing matters clinically? This is not just cosmetic. Repeated weight cycling is associated with increased insulin resistance over time, higher cardiovascular risk markers, loss of metabolic flexibility, greater difficulty losing weight in future attempts. And this is what I hear: the medication worked great the first time, but I think I'm getting the watered down version this time. I think I'm going to try a different company. Their medication isn't as great. And then there's the psychological frustration and treatment fatigue. So the concern is not just regaining weight, it is regaining weight in a more metabolically unfavorable pattern. So again, I highly caution you not to do the on and off again with the GLP-1 medications. I've talked about this plenty of times. I would highly recommend maintenance dosing. There's also microdosing. You can go back, review some of my old episodes. I will be doing more episodes on both of those in the future because it is very much needed. But let's keep going. So, GLP-1 medications are not the problem. The issue is how they are often used. Many times, as standalone solutions, you should be eating properly and exercising. You should not just be ordering these online without proper healthcare guidance. And many people do that. They don't have structured maintenance planning. And you should have a plan in place for muscle preservation. A better clinical approach includes strength training from day one. I recommend to all of my patients to start strength training from the beginning. Not once you start losing the weight, but from the beginning. And I always say prioritize protein. This supports satiety and muscle retention. And then there should be a transition planning phase. Do not stop these medications abruptly. Many patients need to taper strategically, maintenance dosing, as I've already mentioned, and then there's structured metabolic support post GLP. This is why having a good healthcare provider in place is needed. And then also behavior anchoring during the quiet appetite phase. This is critical. While appetite is suppressed, patients should be building. This means be aware of portion awareness, food structure, lifestyle habits, and metabolic resistance. Because once medication stops, habits, not medication, determine maintenance. Now, I want to leave you with this: GLP-1 medications are powerful tools, but they are not a permanent replacement for metabolic regulation. Weight loss is not the hardest part, weight maintenance is. And without a maintenance strategy, many patients experience the same cycle: lose, regain, repeat. The goal is no longer just weight loss. The goal is metabolic stability, muscle preservation, and long term health. Hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you have, please like, share, and make sure you continue to follow for ongoing weight loss support. I'm Dr. Andrea Walker, family nurse practitioner and host of the Medical Weight Loss Show. Don't forget to meal prep, drink your water, exercise, and have an amazing week. Until next time, I'll see you soon.